The Los Angeles Lakers may be shifting their approach to roster building, with longtime NBA insider Mark Stein reporting Monday that the team would have interest in Miami Heat forward Andrew Wiggins if he becomes available. In his The Stein Line newsletter, Stein wrote that the Lakers' reluctance to consider contracts stretching beyond the 2025-26 season has thawed somewhat following a deliberate offseason. While he cautioned that Los Angeles will not make a move for just anyone before the February 5th trade deadline, Stein identified Wiggins as a potential target. League sources say LA would indeed have interest in adding a two-way swingman who can raise their ceiling, Stein wrote. My read: if Miami were to make him available, Andrew Wiggins. Reports of trade talks. Speculation surrounding Wiggins dates back to the summer. Anthony Irwin of Clutch Points reported in June that the Heat had shown interest in Lakers forward Rui Hachimura, who is on an expiring contract, in a potential deal involving Wiggins. Irwin noted that trade talks advanced to the next step, but nothing was imminent. However, other outlets have downplayed the likelihood of a deal. The Athletic's Dan Woik reported on the Zach Lowe Show podcast in July that the Lakers were not interested in Wiggins. Jovan Boha earlier said on his Boha's Block podcast that Miami's asking price for Wiggins remains steep, including requests for a first-round pick and rookie Dalton Connect. The Miami Herald's Anthony Chang and Barry Jackson also reported that the Heat plan to keep Wiggins, with Jackson writing that nothing offered so far has been enticing. Wiggins' status in Miami. Wiggins, 30, is entering the second season of a 4-year, $109 million deal. He will earn $28.2 million this season and holds a $30.2 million player option for 2026-27. Miami acquired him in February as part of the blockbuster trade that sent Jimmy Butler to Golden State. Stein noted that Wiggins was even discussed in trade dialogue with Phoenix before the Suns sent Kevin Durant to Houston in June, though the Heat have since signaled that he will start the season in Miami. Lakers cap strategy. Los Angeles spent the offseason prioritizing financial flexibility, keeping all new contracts short-term aside from Luka Doncic's 3-year, $165 million maximum extension. The Lakers handed out 2-year deals to Jake LaRavia, DeAndre Ayton, and Marcus Smart, with player options in the second year for Ayton and Smart. That strategy could leave the Lakers with more than $100 million in cap space after next season, when LeBron James' $52.6 million deal comes off the books. The franchise is also preparing for Austin Reeves' next contract, with the guard expected to command significant interest in unrestricted free agency next summer. But Stein's latest reporting suggests the Lakers will not have to wait until next summer to make a move to add more to their roster. Why Wiggins fits the Lakers. If the Lakers were to acquire Wiggins, he would address one of their top needs, a versatile wing capable of guarding multiple positions and providing perimeter scoring. Wiggins' experience in playoff environments and ability to complement a star like Doncic could help elevate Los Angeles' ceiling without compromising long-term flexibility. Stein's report suggests that the Lakers see him as a potential short-term solution who could contribute on both ends while the team remains positioned for future star acquisitions. The Miami Heat made one of the most under-the-radar trades of the NBA offseason, sending Kevin Love and Kyle Anderson to the Jazz for Norman Powell in a 3-team deal. They didn't give up much to receive one of the best three-point shooters in the league. How did that happen? Powell was a fringe all-star last season in LA, averaging a career-high 21.8 points on 48.4% shooting from the field and 41.8% shooting from three. He averaged 7.1 three-point attempts per game, the most in his career. Expectations aren't high for Miami entering the upcoming season now that Jimmy Butler is gone, but the Heat have the potential to make some noise in the lowly East. Powell will be able to help them do that after helping the Clippers power through to the playoffs this past year. Norman Powell trade was an A-plus move for the Heat. Powell, who is 32, has some extra motivation going his way. He grew up rooting for the Heat, a full-circle moment, and is entering the last year of his current contract. The Clippers were reportedly reluctant to give Powell a long-term extension, hence why the trade happened. His shooting will give Miami the biggest advantage. He shot 39.8% from deep throughout his career, shooting above 41% the past 2 seasons. Duncan Robinson led the Heat last season in players who played at least 50 games, shooting 39.3% from deep on 6.5 attempts per game. Behind Robinson was Haywood Highsmith, who shot 38.2% from 3 on 3.1 attempts per game. Both of those players are gone, making the Powell trade that much more valuable for Miami. He'll make the most impact on the offensive end, but that isn't the only area of his game that can help the Heat. Even in a weakened conference, Miami is facing a somewhat uphill battle. The Heat aren't strangers to being the surprise team in the league, and that could be the position they find themselves in this upcoming season, without a star like Jimmy. Tyler Herro made his first All-Star team this past season, and Bam Adebayo is a 3-time All-Star, but he's coming off a lackluster season. They'll carry the weight of the pressure this season. What will help them? Having a shooter like Powell. When he's on a roll, good luck stopping him. The Heat naysayers will learn soon enough. The Miami Heat were a significantly different team from last season. After acquiring Norman Powell this summer, Miami offloaded a significant number of veterans and older players, effectively shifting the team's timeline. While this would typically indicate a rebuild, the Heat seem to have gotten better. Led by the young star duo of Tyler Herro and Bam Adebayo, Miami is poised to be a dark horse in the East with one of the youngest rosters in the league. Although Miami boasts a solid roster, the team may not have enough firepower to be considered a title contender in the East. However, a trade proposal presented by Sports Illustrated's Ethan Hutton allows the Heat to transform into a powerhouse by acquiring Ja Morant from the Memphis Grizzlies. Here's the trade scenario. Proposed trade details. Miami Heat receive Ja Morant. Memphis Grizzlies receive Andrew Wiggins, Nikola Jovic, Jamie Jaquez Jr., 2027 first-round pick, 2031 first-round pick. Why should Miami's acquire Morant? Acquiring Morant would effectively signal a new era for the Miami Heat. With a generational talent joining the side, the Heat would become a new superpower in the East, capable of going toe-to-toe with the best in the league. As constructed, the Heat are in possession of talented players. When considering their starting backcourt, with Herro and Powell, Miami already possesses impressive offensive firepower. Injecting Morant into this rotation would require Powell to move to the small forward position, but it would do wonders for the Heat's overall scoring production. Morant has shown all the makings of a superstar. Aside from his elite athletic ability and scoring prowess, Morant is known for his showmanship and his ability to perform in clutch situations. These traits resonate with Herro's game, creating the potential for the two to be one of the most exciting backcourt duos in the league. Last season, Morant averaged 23.2 points for 0.1 rebounds and 7.3 assists per game, while shooting 45.4% from the field and 30.9% from three-point range. When assessing the 26-year-old's play style, he has shown a preference for attacking the basket. While he is ball-dominant like Herro, he is also more of a threat going downhill. These skills complement Herro's, considering that he is capable of attacking as a reliable perimeter threat. Several factors suggest that acquiring Morant would be in Miami's best interests. When additionally factoring in his age, the Heat would only fortify their core. Given the weakened state of the East next season, Miami could even make a run at the title by making this trade without compromising its timeline. There could be some concerns regarding his off-court antics and controversies, but under a coach like Eric Spoelstra and a president like Pat Riley, the two-time All-Star is unlikely to have the same latitude. Additionally, concerns about the star's health will also be valid. Although he appeared in 50 games last season, Morant has been known to sustain several injuries over the course of the season. Managing this would become a priority for Miami should they consider acquiring him. What do the Grizzlies gain? The Memphis Grizzlies have already shown that they have partially committed to a rebuild this offseason. By trading Desmond Bane to the Orlando Magic, the Grizzlies have effectively broken up their main core. Although they shut down trade rumors of any further activity, it doesn't guarantee that the Grizzlies won't commit to a rebuild eventually. In the current scenario, the Grizzlies star duo of Ja Morant and Jaren Jackson Jr. hasn't been able to deliver postseason success. With Jackson Jr.'s recent contract extension, Memphis has committed to the former DPOY. Thus, structuring the rebuild around him could prove to be wiser. On this note, Hutton's proposal with the Heat sends some solid pieces over to the Grizzlies. With 2 first-round draft picks, 2027 and 2031, Andrew Wiggins, Jamie Jaquez Jr., and Nikola Jovic, Memphis would have all the necessary assets to properly structure a rebuild while staying competitive. Wiggins, who is on an expiring contract, has shown a lot of upside as a gifted two-way player. While anchoring Memphis' perimeter defense, the 30-year-old has also been a reliable scoring and rebounding presence. Last season, Wiggins recorded an average of 18.0 points and 4.5 rebounds, while shooting 44.8% overall and 37.4% from three-point range. When asked to play a more significant role on offense, the forward notched a slight uptick in scoring production, showing potential to be a viable scoring threat next to Jackson Jr. in Memphis. Additionally, acquiring developmental pieces such as Jovic and Jaquez Jr. could also prove to be valuable. Both of them are on the verge of breakout years, with Jovic's performance at Eurobasket being of particular intrigue. Both players have shown a lot of upside as scoring assets. Last season, Jovic averaged 10.7 points and 3.9 rebounds per game on 45.6% shooting overall and 37.1% shooting from three-point range. Meanwhile, Jaquez showed promise even with reduced output, as he averaged 8.6 points and 4.4 rebounds per game on 46.1% shooting from the field. Should they receive more playing time with more responsibilities, both players possess the skill and talent to emerge as significant contributors. On a rebuilding team, assets like these could develop into key players on the roster. Miami may hesitate to part with young talent. Even with all the benefits that could be gained from doing this deal, the Heat may be hesitant to part ways with the young talent on their roster. While there has been trade talk involving Andrew Wiggins all summer, Miami has maintained a strong stance on retaining both Jaquez Jr. and Jovic for the foreseeable future. Jaquez Jr. is primed to see a resurgence in form this upcoming season. Meanwhile, the Heat coaching staff has been immensely invested in the performances of their European players, even attending their games at Eurobasket. Given Jovic's growth, there are possible scenarios in which the Serbian forward could even be a part of the team's starting lineup. With this kind of investment, the Heat are unlikely to part ways with these players at the moment.